Coming up on Network Africa, Kenyan opposition supporters return to the streets in Kisumu and Nairobi demanding electoral reforms. Togo's government bans weekday protests as opposition mounts pressure for political reforms. And 5 people arrested over a mob attack of a Nigerian in India as another Nigerian is killed in South Africa. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Millicent Walker. We begin the program today in Kenya, where police have continued to fire tear gas at opposition supporters during their protests in the western city of Kisumu. Local media reports that protesters lit fires on the road using slingshots to throw stones at police. The officers have dispersed about 1,000 opposition supporters in the capital, Nairobi. Yesterday, opposition leader Raila Odinga said he was withdrawing from the presidential election race, citing the unwillingness of the Electoral Commission to a series of demands before the rerun on the 26th of October. He says he would be willing to take part in a later vote if his demands were met, calling on to his supporters to continue their protest for reforms.
And next week we are going to come from Monday to Monday. Yes, until these thieves, the 2 thieves, come out of the office. Uhuru will not declare himself a president. He will not impose himself on us. We are the voters and we have said no. Kenya is for all of us, not for some of us.
Kenya's High Court has ruled that all candidates who participated in the August 8th presidential election can now stand in the rerun later this month. The court ordered the Election Commission to include Ekuru Aukot and 5 others on the ballot. Last month, after the Supreme Court annulled the August vote citing irregularities, the Commission then decided that the 2 main candidates, incumbent President Uhuru Kenyatta and opposition leader Raila Odinga, would be on a new ballot. But Mr. Aukot argued that it was unfair to all candidates who participated in the August election. It is unclear what this ruling means for the 26th of October rerun election, considering Mr. Odinga's withdrawal from the race. And still on preparations for the 26th October presidential rerun in Kenya, lawmakers from Kenya's governing Jubilee Party have passed a bill to change how future elections are managed ahead of the bill. The bill, which doesn't become law until the president signs it, includes these amendments. First, anyone challenging an election result in the future may have to prove if any irregularities would have altered the outcome. Secondly, lowering the bar set for someone to be appointed head of the Electoral Commission. At the moment, they must have at least 15 years distinguished experience as a judge, academic or lawyer. And lastly, allowing the Electoral Commission's head to declare a winner in the presidential vote if outstanding uncounted votes won't make a difference. The ruling party's push for these controversial changes have been widely criticized by religious leaders, rights groups, Western diplomats and the Electoral Commission. They are of the opinion that the changes come too close to the election day to be implemented. Well, for more on the state of things in Kenya, here's Dr. Dapo Thomas, a senior lecturer with the Lagos State University, and he joins us via telephone. Welcome to the program. Now, the annulment of President Uhuru Kenyatta's victory in the August 8th election by the Kenya Supreme Court was a political high for main opposition leader Raila Odinga. What do you make of Odinga's decision to withdraw from the scheduled rerun election slated for the 26th of October?
Well, like I said, if it had been in the for the purpose, if it has been for the purpose of creating peace in the country and then avoiding deaths, avoiding possible deaths or killings that may arise as a result of violence and everything, or that that Kenya normally witnesses anytime it holds election, it would have been a very fantastic thing. I would have commended him. However, from from his body language, I don't think that he means well for the country, in the sense that, based on what he has said, that his withdrawal should naturally and legally necessitate begin again process, which means they have to start the election afresh because of a particular judgment that happened in 2003. The Supreme Court has likened withdrawal to death of a candidate, and that if a candidate withdraws, it's as good as the candidate is dead. So they should begin the process again.
Do you think this is his strategy to exit the political scene?
I don't see it like that. I don't think he wants to withdraw or he wants to exit the political scene. He still wants to be relevant. You know, all he wants is, from what I am reading, I don't think he feels that under a normal electoral process he's going to win any election. He simply wants to be imposed. He simply wants violence, because from the last election, the August 8th election, international observers, including John Kelly, said that the election was free and fair. So he was now happy on the fact that he did not have access to whatever technology and everything, and then he went to court to prove that hackers hacked into the system, which I believe was very minimal. As a nationalist, as a true patriot, there must be some minimum sacrifice you should make for the peace of your country, but he has not demonstrated the capacity to do this for his country. I believe that this thing is self-centered. It's about his own personal ambition, political ambition, and until he realizes that ambition through foul means or whatever means, he is not ready to compromise, he's not ready to allow peace to reign in Kenya.
As his withdrawal from the race would give the Electoral Commission time to undertake reforms to help deliver a more credible election. Do you agree with him on that?
No. His intention, his objective is self-centered. His objective is to achieve a selfish purpose. It's for a selfish purpose. It's not going to the electoral body. The IBC says that it is ready, and that's why it's shifting from October 17, during which the election should have held, been held, to 26. And then it will give them enough time. He doesn't know the extent or the scope of their preparedness. So if they are prepared, it is the body that will say, okay, we are not ready, we are not prepared. So the September, they give the judgment in September, and then they have about 1 month or 1 month plus to prepare, and then they feel that, look, this is really wrong, so we can prepare, or we are ready. And then if the body is saying it's ready, you are saying they are not ready, then how do we resolve that conflict? Everything cannot be resolved in its favor. They will hold the election, the result will be announced, you say it's not, it's not acceptable to you. The personnel in the IBC, they are not acceptable to you. The electoral process or the electoral laws and everything are not acceptable to you. So what is acceptable to him?
Thank you so much. We've been talking to Dr. Dakpo Thomas, a senior lecturer with the Lagos State University at LASU.